Subscribe, follow, like, share. Last Bell Boxing. These guys give you all the exclusives, and next time I get my fight date, it's going to be exclusive on here as well. So make sure you give them all.
Hello, welcome to Last Bell Boxing. Proudly sponsored by SC Travel and Shore Building Services, Agda Promotions, and WatchSport.com. Joined tonight by Brett, all the way from Canada. How you doing, Brett?
Doing well, thanks, mate.
And Sean from Less Glamorous Brighton. How you going, Sean?
Evening, I'm all good, thanks, guys.
So, hot off the press, Frank Warren's going to celebrate 45 years in boxing by announcing a card at the Co-op Live, which is starting to be a bit of a favourite of Frank Warren's. Damn good arena, though, in Manchester on the 24th of Jan. So what I thought we'd do, boys, have a bit of a canter through the card and a very early prediction about how I think it's going to go, allowing you to change your mind when we've had our turkey and tinsel, when we pick this up back in January. So I'll start with Brett first. So let's start at the bottom. Nathan Heaney versus Jerome Warburton. I don't really know much about Warburton, but Heaney's having a bit of an interesting time with it at the minute. He's on a bit of a swiffer. So give us your prediction, Brett.
Yeah, other than I'd go with the name that I know, just simply because I don't know anything about the other lad. But what I would say is, what a fan base Heaney's got, eh? They'll come out in droves for him, so there'll be some atmosphere in there. Specifically, if he's starting the night, it's going to start off well. So maybe this is a little bit of a road redemption, another crack at it. So you would favour a win for Heaney.
Okay, Sean, agree or disagree? I'm assuming you might agree with that one. Heaney to win.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's win or bust for him at this point, really, isn't it? So I think he's got to win, to be honest.
Yeah, like Brett said, it will take a few. It's only an hour up the road from Stoke to Manchester, isn't it? Yeah. So I'd imagine it takes a few thousand there. Moving on, Shaquille Thompson, who's been backed by GBM a lot in previous fights, middleweight, very, very good, just needs a bit of exposure. He's fighting Brad Pauls, who, again, a couple of good wins, a little bit on the periphery at the minute with Queensberry, but this is a very important fight for both of them in terms of exposure and climbing that greasy pole. So, Sean, coming to you first, give us your views.
Yeah, I'm lucky to know Brad a little bit. I think he's going to win. I think, although Shaquille Thompson's probably the A side in this fight, and as you say, previously backed by GBM, I think Brad Pauls has got a lot to prove, and I think he doesn't like the fact he's been left out in the cold by Queensberry. I think he's fighting next weekend, actually, just on a small hall show. But I'm going to back Brad to win this one on points.
Okay, Brett, what says you?
Yeah, I mean, again, I know a bit more about Pauls, to be honest, but would it be fair to say it's almost a 50-50 one, this one?
Yeah. Thompson can bang. I've watched him on a few GBM cards, and the lad can punch. So I would say 50.
A 50-50 fight, but I'll stick my neck out on the line and go where the promotions go in and go with Thompson.
Okay, I'm going to go Thompson on that one. I think Thompson will stop Pauls. Next fight, quality fight. This Liam Davis versus Zach Miller. I'll come to you, Sean. Featherweight contest. Davis needs to get back on the horse, don't he, and start climbing them rankings again.
Let's not forget he was touted as one of the best prospects only 18 months ago. Yeah. I think, as you say, Kyle, he needs to get back on the win. I think he's going to win by stoppage.
Okay, Brett.
Yeah, no, he's got to get going again. Like I say, he needs to chase those big paydays because he was talked about as being one of the next stars. So I agree with Sean.
Yeah, he had a couple of Saudi trips, didn't he, and picked up some big bucks. He won't like dropping the purses.
No, not when they've tasted it, mate.
I'm going to go Davis as well. I think it'll be points win. Coming on to, I've got a vested interest and got half a vest of interest. Willie Hutchinson versus Ezra Taylor. Now, I didn't like the pantomime bit in Manchester. I was there that night, ringside again. Didn't like the pantomime push and shove, I don't think this fight needs that. So, coming to you first, Brett. Willie Hutchinson versus Ezra Taylor. Good fight.
It's a cracking fight, and I've been screaming for Taylor to Ezra to get a fight with a bit of recognition behind it. Now, the one thing is Willie Hutchinson is golden for off outside the ring, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he talks a good game. He'll wind people up. He'll say outrageous things. And I was all right with that pantomime thing. And I know you were like 2 seats away from it, but the reason why is because I don't think it was fake. I think Hutchinson feels pissed off that Ezra thinks he can jump all those rankings to go for him. Or did you see something different? Was it a bit more pantomimey?
Obviously, on being 2 seats away with Brown staying at the back of my trousers.
Yeah. Yeah. In case it probably kicked off.
No, all joking aside, it just looked pantomime to me. Obviously, TV, you get a different perception, don't you, to be fair?
Yeah.
All I'll say is it was quite cordial when they walked past each other afterwards. So let's just keep it.
Fair enough. And then that's the beauty of having you traveling all over the country now. We get these inside scoops. So all I will say is this: I'm backing, and he is my man because I do bleed red from Nottingham. Before the host of this continues to give me jabs, I'm really excited for Ezra. I genuinely feel if he puts on a demolition job here, I want Frank Warren to throw some money behind him. He looks the part. He can fight. He can talk. And it's about time he started kicking his career on. This is a fantastic fight, and I'm all for it.
And just before I come to Sean, it's about time Nottingham got behind him a little bit, Greg, because you don't feel like the City's getting behind him like they do.
We're not talking. Listen, mate. As you know, on all the group messages, a lot of my mates are all football fans, and they dip their toe in with boxing, but they've always been behind Lee Wood from day one.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so we think Brett's dropped out, mate. So Sean, give us your views.
Yeah, I'm probably a bigger fan of Willie Hutchinson of the two of them, to be honest. I've seen him a lot more. I just think he's got the experience, a bit like we were speaking earlier with previous fights. I think Hutchinson's obviously been in with Boazzi, been in with a few bigger names. Probably, again, he's one that can't afford to lose, if we're being honest. He had a bit of a stop-start career. Again, he was someone who was highly touted, wasn't he? I think David Hay used to manage him at one point as well, didn't he? So I think, I'll go Willie Hutchinson late stoppage.
Let's put our cards on the table, Sean. You don't actually rate Ezra Taylor, do you? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you don't particularly rate him, do you?
Not on the grand scale of things when we speak about the light heavyweights in this country. But again, that's purely because I've maybe not seen as much as him as what you guys have.
Yeah. Well, I'm going for Ezra Taylor to beat Willie Hutchinson. I think Willie Hutchinson's got a ceiling that we've all seen, jumped in with Boazzi and got a little bit outclassed, if we're honest. We don't really know how good Ezra Taylor is because he's only as good as the opponents in front of him. But I think he's going to get better with the better opponent that he faces. Takes his career deadly serious out in America with Malik Scott. Maybe that's why he's maybe not of the profile in Nottingham, Brett. Maybe that he spends a lot of time in the States. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going Ezra Taylor to win on points. So
this will be the fight though that the fan base get behind him, mate. This will be the one because somewhere down the line it's going to be billed not just wherever Willie's from in Scotland, but it'll be billed England v Scotland as well. There'll be some tastiness and there'll be a few more lads that get behind it for sure.
Yeah, I just know whenever we hear about Lee Wood's news, if the stars align, it'd be nice to get Ezra Taylor on the undercard of Lee Wood whilst he's still around, right? Because Lee Wood ain't got many fights left, I'd imagine.
Well, I tell you, if Ezra puts on a display, and then at some point, like you say, that would be amazing for the stars to align, for Lee to have a big fight, and then Ezra to have a big fight on the undercard. That'd be unbelievable.
Well, not that I'm making this Nottingham centric, obviously, but it would be almost be the passing of the torch, wouldn't it, Brett?
Yeah. It is my fan base. Take them with you.
You know, we always like that next big star, don't we?
Yeah.
So moving on then to the main event, that would be Moses Atama versus Jermaine Franklin, which I really do like this fight. So I'll come to you first, Sean. The obvious question, do you think Franklin's going to give Atama rounds? And I'll ask for a prediction, but I think I know where it's going. Over to you.
Yeah, I think he will do. I don't think it'll be a 1 or 2 round blowout, this fight. I think Franklin will take him at least 3 or 4 rounds, but ultimately I think Moses will get to him and he'll stop him about round 4, round 5.
Interesting. What say you, Brett? Any different?
Do you know what? You and I for sure have spoke about trying to find this kid some fights where it's not a journeyman anymore. and then the middle of the road guys are outpricing themselves. So, am I excited by the name that he's got? No, because I think Franklin is what Franklin is. He's not a superstar heavyweight. He's a spoiler, and he's tough and he's durable. I think he'll get in shape for this one. He wasn't in shape in his last fight. He was in terrible shape. But that being said, he had some awful circumstances. His dad passed away during his camp. And I really do want to find out how special Moses is. I'm trying. I get excited by him, and then I try and rein it in a little bit because, you know, it's good for this young man to have the Franklins and not have to go. Even to the people are saying, tell me I'm wrong, but I didn't want to see him in with Hrgovic yet. Like I wanted for him to have another learning fight before he then goes to Hrgovic, Big Baby Miller. Like let's get him some rounds, you know. So hopefully this has been picked, Franklin, because he is a spoiler and he's a bit clever. Hopefully it's been picked for rounds.
So I think Atama will blast him out of there by round 3. I don't think I'm going to learn anything here.
Okay.
I think Franklin will come and have a go. Don't get me wrong; he's game into it, nothing else. But like we said on previous video, throw a name at me who's not world level, who's going to give this kid rounds. Where is that middle of the road fight? I wouldn't be able to give you a name. We thought White was it, didn't we? But that wasn't the case.
I mean, are they at some point, because he's quiet, isn't he? But are they aligning for Jared Anderson? Is that going to align at some point, or has Anderson been given too much money and he's gone off into the wilderness?
The trouble is, Bacoli battered him and walked through him. So what? You know, I'm not confident he's going to give it a time or any rounds. I'll be brutally honest. Is it going to take a Yuri Fury to jump in with him?
Well, Yuri would love that opportunity because we've said it on previous show of like we all want to see Yuri get a payday because he's never really had one, has he? Like give him a payday. He's been a great servant to British boxing. He's been on the end of some unlucky things that have happened to him with injuries, and I'd happily have that fight. But I think I'm not going early with this one. I'm going more where Sean's saying. I think he will. He'll just be a little bit negative because if any of them see now, Dylan White had a broken foot, didn't he? But if any of them see now Dylan White approached the gig, they're going to go on the back foot. They ain't going to go on the front foot.
Yeah. What about you, Sean? Do you think of any names in the middle of the division who might give him a few rounds?
Well, the one I was always thought about, again, it could go one of two ways. It's probably too early, but Zilai Zhang, he's a bigger, tough unit. He can give him a good few rounds, I reckon. You
know who I would throw him in with? And you can thank me after I've given you this name. I would throw him in with Joe Joyce.
That's an awful fight for Joyce, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
All I'd say, though, you virtually guaranteed of anybody that Joyce will give him rounds because he don't go over easily for anybody. So I'd go Joe Joyce. Next.
Well, do you know what? The only reason you've stumped me a little bit is because I wanted to say yeah, but then actually when I sat back and thought,
can you?
Well, no, to be fair, no, I'm giving you credit here. I'm giving you credit, and to go. I just worry about he already can't speak 2 sentences, and I worry about taking one of those. And you're right, it'll be durable as hell. So he's going to take punishment. So that could be, they're going to have to pay him a lot of money for him to take that fight.
But he's hanging around Queensberry shows, so we've had no announcement of another fight, so it might align. The start might align.
Who did he have lined up? It was White, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who was it that he had a big fight lined up and then it got dragged?
Dillian White wants it.
Yeah, because I thought he was.
And then Chisora was mentioned. It's been mentioned with the majority of them, hasn't it? And it fell through. And I'll just finish this video by a couple of sentences on Frank Warren because I've not always been his favourite fan. I shouldn't say that really, but I haven't. I'm just being honest. But I think he's had a bit of a resurgence over the last couple of years, and arguably you could say it is bossing British boxing at the minute with his stable. So what do you say, Brett?
Yeah, mate. For many years in my early, what connected us all originally in my early Twitter life, I gave Frank Warren a lot of stick, and I'm happy to see that, as they call him, the godfather, the granddad of the game, has literally got his sons involved in these last few years, hasn't he? And they do all his legwork. He's the face.
Yeah.
They do all his legwork for him. They're the one that's bridged the gap with Eddie.
Yeah.
They're the one that's got him the Turkey deal, and he's just a face. And you can see he's happy again, isn't he? He's happy.
Yeah. To be fair, if you remember, Brett, Eddie Hearn put his eggs into one basket with another side of the outfit. It was Frank Warren, wasn't it, who brought Turkey 100%. Into the sport. You're 100%. Right.
And if you think about it, go back 3 years, and he was aggressive in interviews, wasn't he, Frank?
Yeah.
And he was pissed, and he just at that point I think he got Tyson. So Tyson was the flag for him.
He wanted to fight the world, didn't he?
Yeah, Tyson was the flag. But like you say, what a man, and what we could probably do another show on Frank Warren classics. Amazing, 45 years in the game, amazing.
Yeah, Sean, give us your few sentences on Frank Warren.
Yeah, I agree with everything Brett's just said there, to be honest. I was the same. I never used to be his biggest fan. I think particularly that's because when I first got into boxing, I was probably in my early 20s, and sort of Eddie Hearn was the new kid on the block, really, and obviously Bellew and all those guys, what they used to come out with about Warren. So it's remarkable, really, his career. And I think probably from his last year on TNT to now obviously being on DAZN, he's really picked up the baton, and I think he's the lead promoter over here for us now.
Yeah, I think it's always kept him young, this new relationship with Eddie Hearn. Let's have it right. He still wants to beat him, and he's not shy in saying that, is he? He wants to put the best shows on. But what a guy, 45 years in such an industry like boxing, you got to take your hat off to him, haven't you?
You know how he shows his classmate as well. Like, I've always been a big Eddie Hearn fan for the fights he's brought us over the last few years. But when you see them interview together, because Warren's now he's back in the big time, and he knows he's got an unbelievable stadium. He'll let Mal Fast Car go bap 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 bap, and he just stands there looking at him. And then they'll ask him a question, and he'll say two sentences and bap 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 bap, and he just looks, and he just shows his class. He go on, Eddie, you sell the show, son, because I don't need to.
Yeah. All right, boys. Thank you very much for the show tonight. That's our gambit on Frank Warren's 45th show. We're sure we'll cover it again before 24th of January. This has been Last Boxing, sponsored by Sean Bussers, SC Travel, Queensberry Promotions, and WatchSports.com. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.